Hi, and welcome back. My name is Dwayne with Wellspring Components, and welcome to my home. We have tried over the past several videos to show you the versatility of the Big Ben, especially the 40 model. It's great for caterers. We've showed that it'd be good for restaurants. Food trucks have used our Big Bens. Um, I also showed in the last video that it was great for just a small party. You had a group of guys coming over with multiple items cooked at the same time. I believe in that video we cooked smoked mac and cheese, chicken breast, hamburgers. So it just, again, it's a very versatile grill. But like I said, now you're in my home. And one of the aspects that we have for the Big Ben 40, especially for a family such as mine, is meal prep or meal planning. So one of the things I'm going to do today is meal prep uh, for the home. One case in specific, one of my sons, he and his wife and son are taking their old varsity basketball team that they grew up playing with together, and they're going camping. And so we're like, hey, let's put together some stuff for you as far as prepping ahead. And what better way to do that than pulled pork? So I've got a couple different varieties of pork we're going to do here today, though. I've got the picnic roast going on, and so I've got bone in as well as boneless. And so we want to get this cooked. We want to get it pulled. I want to get the juices separated, and then I want to get it frozen so when they hit the trails and go camping, they have a wonderful meal out and about. So, with that being said, let's get ready to get these things on the Big Ben. So, what I've done now for our seasonings is I've decided to use our meat rub. If you've not tried our Wellspring seasonings, you need to give it a shot. We will put a link down there in the bottom to go online and to look and see what they are. What I really like about them is there's low sugar and there's low sodium. We've talked about that multiple times. The reason why that is so nice is because I can use a lot of it to really build a great bark as well as just add to flavor. And so I've chosen to use our meat rub this time on all of this pork. I just got it all over everything there. We do have also a fajita that is fantastic on chicken wings. We've got the barbecue plus, which is one that you've seen me use a whole lot. I've used it on pork butts. I've used it also on a lot of chicken. And then also for our beef and stuff. So we've got steak and burger seasoning. Fantastic. In fact, halfway through this cook, I'm going to see where we are at on internal temps and all that stuff. And I've got a big old tomahawk steak that I'm going to throw on this thing too. So I also found some shrimp. So not only am I going to do pork butts, I'm going to throw on a tomahawk steak. And I've got some shrimp that I want to throw on there as well. So I just give you an idea. I did use a binding agent on the pork itself. And so I just simply just use mustard just to help it with adhering and stuff like that. You really don't have to. It's a piece of meat that's moist enough now. It's going to collect that seasoning. It's just something that I've always done. It doesn't change the flavor profile. You can use mustard. You can use Worcestershire sauce. Not anything that you like to use, or if not, you don't have to use anything at all. But like I said, it is low sodium. It is low salt. So I'm really going to pile this seasoning on there. I'm going to want it to build a bark. I want it to hold in some of those flavors and some of those juices. So I'm not going to go sparingly. I'm going to bring out just the red that's in the seasoning all over the top of this thing, and I'm just going to lather it on. Not worried about anything. And then I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to allow that seasoning to draw out some of that moisture. If you notice on my bone in, some people will like to spray that down. They want to keep it pretty. I'm putting out on a serving platter. Keep in mind, these are going camping, so I'm not going to spray it down with any canola oil. I'm not going to wrap it with a towel. I'm going to just cook it as is. When it comes to the pulling process, I'm going to get rid of all that skin and fat anyway. Other than that, I'm ready to fire up the smoker. Well, we are up to temp. I'm going to be running about 200, 225 degrees. I've got my bed of charcoal in there, and I'm deciding this time just to use straight cherry wood. The pork shoulders have been sitting there. They have been sweating with that seasoning on there. So I'm about ready to put it on. Today, for me, is going to be a very busy day. And that's one of the joys of the Big Ben is I'm going to put stuff on there and I am just going to let it be. It will do all the cooking for me. I won't check it for several hours just to see where we're at. As you see, I've already got great smoke. It's already rolling pretty well. My chimney is open about halfway. My vents in the front and the vent in the back are open about halfway. If by chance I get warmer than I want, that's how I will dampen it, is by those vents on the bottom.
Like I said, it's a busy day today. And the beauty of this, I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over and over again, is I just get to let the Big Ben do the work. I can multitask, run my errands, do what I need. And I know with that 10, 12 gauge steel, it's going to maintain the heat that I want. I have no concerns. So we'll check on them in a bit. All right, we've been running for several hours here, and I have got some bark on there that I'm looking forward to. I'm going to go ahead and pull them off. I'm running about an internal temp of 165. So I'm going to take them in, and I'm going to wrap them. And when I say I wrap them, I'm going to use tin foil. I'm going to put a little bit of apple juice in there, a little bit more seasoning if it needs it, and then I will cover it up. And then we'll cook to a full internal temp of about 202 degrees. So again, you can just look. This is the bone-in, beautiful color. Again, I wasn't too worried about keeping this part pretty because I'm pulling it out anyway, but just beautiful color. And the smell, oh, the smell is phenomenal. These are the boneless ones. Again, I'm still running about 165 in there, but just beautiful. All right, well, I'm gonna get those inside, get them wrapped. I'm going back in here. I'm gonna keep the heat running about 225. I might raise about 250, but again, I'm gonna go for that still low and keep it going slow. And I'm gonna go in for that internal temp of about 202 degrees.
So I've got this tomahawk steak that we're going to throw it on there, get it seared on both sides, and let it cook too. I'm also going to use our steak and burger. If you notice, the labeling has changed, so we got a new look going on with our seasonings, and so it's kind of the transition into that. But again, there's going to be a link below if you want to check out some of the seasonings and sauces that we do carry and we do offer. Again, same with this. I'm going to use an abundance of it because I do have low sodium in there. And I'm not going to trim any of the fat off. I'm going to let that fat and stuff render while it cooks. So I'm just going to saturate it and cover it well. I'm going to let that set, let that kind of draw out some of that moisture a few minutes. And then we're going to put it on the Big Ben.
So as you can see, I've got the pork all wrapped and it's cooking again, going to a temp of about 202. And I got my tomahawk steak in there. And so since this is a rotisserie, but yet I still want some sear marks, I'm going to let that steak go until it gets to the very bottom. When it gets to the bottom there, I'm going to stop my rotisserie. I'm going to let that set just right above the coal bed, just for about 3 to 5 minutes. Bring it up, let it get a good sear, and then flip it over and do it again. See if I can get you inside there. There it goes. Just want to get a good sear on it before I then cook to an internal temp. I want to get mine to about 135 degrees to a nice medium rare. I'll then let it rest. By the time it rests and ready to slice, it should be pretty close to a medium. All right, so that has been down by the fire bed about 5 minutes. I'm going to bring it up, see what that looks like on that side. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take it down, let that side set along that fire bed, get a nice sear on that side, and then I'll just let it cook to my internal temp. So I told you a little bit ago that we were going to cook other things too, and found some raw shrimp. We just like ours with salt and pepper, whatever seasonings you want. We still have plenty of fire left, and I have empty grate because the boneless picnic roast were done, ready to go, and they're resting now. So I'm just going to throw this shrimp in here. And again, it's shrimp, so it's not going to take a whole long time in order to get that done. I just sit them in there, flip it over. Again, being able to cook multiple items at the same time, kind of fun and convenient. Well, I have taken off the tomahawk steak. It's in the house. It is currently resting. Taken off the 3 boneless. I've got the 3 bone in. They're about to temp. The shrimp's been on there about 5 minutes. I flipped it one time and it's gone to a nice, beautiful pink. It's kind of translucent color. So I'm going to call this good to go. few more degrees on the picnic roast and we'll be good. Well, everything is now off. We've got the picnic roast. The pork is resting, getting ready to get it pulled. Remember, that's for a camping trip, so we'll get it pulled, put into some freezer bags with the juices that we separate out. And we'll try to show you that process as well. That way when they hit the camping site there, they have fresh pulled pork, however they want to do it. But because we had extra racks and extra fire going on, we decided to throw in some shrimp. Again, with our seasoning, just salt and pepper, just the way we kind of like it. Come out of there beautifully pink, translucent, ready to go. Just really good, just good, simple flavor. So, and then the Tomahawk Steak come out. I brought it out at about 135 degrees. So it has got a great kind of a smoke ring around it because we did use the cherry wood, but then just a great medium meat in there, just tender, ready to go. Again, didn't cut any of that down because I wanted that fat to render in through the meat. This is to eat on while we wait for the picnic roast to rest. So I think we'll enjoy this for quite a while.
So like I said at the beginning of this video, we were going to get all this ready for one of my sons and his friends all going camping for several days. And so that's why we've already got it pulled out, ready to go. And one thing about doing it this way is when they do warm it up with the juices, it tastes as if it just came off the smoker and ready to go. One item that if you don't have, I highly recommend is one of these separators. All of the drippings and juices I pour into this thing here, and the fat and stuff floats to the top, so that when I do put in the juice, it's just simply just the flavors and the juice that come out of that. Again, I will top these off here with the bag. I will then seal them, lay them flat, and put them in the freezer ready for them to go. But again, the bark was great. The smoke ring that's in there is red into that soft meat. And there's no way to taste over a video or smell. I'm telling you, you've got to give this a try. Now, link down below. You'll be able to look up some of our seasonings and sauces. Also, subscribe. If you got any questions or comments that you have or something you want to see the Big Ben do, feel free to let us know. Thank you.